This looks a little bit different than what you've been eating in the huts.
Oh, for sure.
That's so much better than all.
Oh man, is it ever, eh? Go. Okay, Richie, what are we doing today?
We're eating food.
Look at that breakfast, man.
Good boy.
Ooh. Wow. Good morning. So I'm sitting here in the hotel room, and it's a rest day, a planned rest day. Weather is supposed to be raining off and on all day today, but we knew we were going to be resting today. The big question for us is, what do we do tomorrow? So we're sitting right now in the middle of looks like a couple of weather systems that are bringing a lot of rain to the area. And there's some people leaving today, some people leaving tomorrow, some people leaving the next day. And there's a lot of question as to what's going to be the best way to get through this next section, which entails getting over Waiwu Pass. So a little bit later this morning, Richie and I are actually going to walk down to the dock office and get some advice from them about whether we should leave tomorrow or the next day or even another day. We definitely don't want to be up in that area when there's some heavy rain. I think there's some river crossings that we have to do, so we need to really be safe with the decisions that we make. But the rest day today is really just going to be that resting. We got the laundry done yesterday, so we don't really have any other chores. I'm busy uploading all the videos, got almost all the videos uploaded, so that's going well. So yeah, we're just going to kind of hang around today. I think that's the only thing we really have planned to do is go down the dock and then figure out what we want to do for this next section. That's pretty much it right now, and I will keep you informed as to what we're going to be doing a little bit later. All right, so we just finished talking to the dock worker there, and she recommended that we wait another day because it's supposed to be heavyish rain again tomorrow. Nothing super dangerous, but unpleasant. But then after that, the rain kind of lessens, and it sets us up better for Waiwu Pass and Traverse Pass. So that's good. We've actually tentatively booked another place tomorrow night, so we can go ahead and make that extra day of rest. So yeah, thank you, Doc.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, Doc. Okay, having completed the Richmonds, I thought I'd give my quick assessment of comparing them to the Tararuas, and I've written a few notes down, so that's what I'll be looking at. First of all, the Richmonds certainly deserve that reputation of being the hardest section. But they're hard for a different reason than what you normally would think. I think we were the most concerned about the big food carry, but really, by this time, if you've been doing the whole North Island, the food carry is not really that big of a problem. Yeah, it was a little bit heavier, but that really wasn't the issue. The issues for me were just the relentlessness every day of having big climbs day after day after day after day. So I ate quite a bit more food than I normally do, just to try to keep the energy up, and that really seemed to help quite a bit. A lot of protein, especially in the evenings, to let the body kind of heal over the night before the next climbs for the next day. I think when I compare the two together, the Tararuas, the climbs there's so much mud, which made those climbs really that much more difficult. Where with the Richmonds, there wasn't mud, but the climbs would be steep or long. After the rentals, there was a lot of boulder walking, which got a little bit difficult as well, a little bit tedious. I don't think most of the Richmonds, the climbs were as steep as they were in the Tararuas. So that was a little bit easier in the climbing. Drinking water wasn't a problem in the Richmonds. The Richmond huts have had added water tanks, so that the huts is fine. But then when you're in the rivers, you can drink right out of the rivers. They're fine. We really didn't have a problem with that as well. The other thing, some people might say, well, there's no showers and all that, but there's several of the huts you can, there's a creek nearby where you can wash off, or even along during the day, especially the second part of the Richmonds, you're able to rinse off or wash off, go swimming in some of the rivers that are there. I think one of the questions, one of the thoughts around the Richmonds is that the TA notes say that going over the rentals is the hardest part of the Richmonds. I really didn't think so. I mean, I've even heard people say it's the hardest day of the entire TA. I really didn't think. I actually thought that going over the rentals was the third hardest of the Richmond section. The hardest part for me is, as you heard, was between those two Wairora huts. That sidling not only is a little bit scary, but it was some pretty technical stuff there as well. I found that more difficult, and I found the day going from Hackett Hut up to Slady, that big climb going up, I found those 2 days more difficult than actually going over the rentals. Of course, we had really good weather. I mean, it was a little bit windy going over Little Rental, but other than that, we didn't have any issues. So I don't think that that's a well-deserved fear of going over the rentals. I thought that day was actually a lot easier than what I was expecting it to be. The big issue that Richie and I found going through the Richmonds was we got stuck in a kind of a large bubble. And the huts are all 6 to 8 beds. They're not giant huts. And most of the huts don't have a lot of good tenting space around them. And we found that the most frustrating part. While we really tried not to race for a bed every day, there was that pressure throughout each day to get to that next hut to make certain that you had a good sleeping spot. The day that we were at Mid-Wairora with the 3 dock workers, I'd asked one of them if there was any plans that he knew of to increase the hut size, and he said there's no plans at all. But something really is going to need to be done about at least providing more tenting spaces. When I've done the Heafy track before, and even up in Pirangia, they've done this where they've made platforms so that people have better tenting spots. But they need to do something like that, or someone's going to make some pretty bad decisions because there's just no space at a hut. And in between huts, especially the first half, there's really not a lot of spaces for you to wild camp either. So that was our biggest concern going through the Richmonds, was just where do you stay at night? And so my recommendation is if you have, especially if you have a larger tent, is get up early in the morning and get there. Make sure you get a bed so that you're able to sleep well at nighttime. I think that's pretty much my assessment of the Richmonds and the Tararuas. I think, the Richmonds are a little bit more difficult than the Tararuas, especially, just with the length of time and the relentlessness of the climbs every single day. But we made it. It is doable if you take your time and are careful. So I said yesterday that I was going to interview Richie about something that's important to him. So Richie's right here. And Richie, besides just hiking the TA, you're also doing this for charity. Is that right?
I am, yes. So,
okay. So what's the charity that you're hiking for?
So I'm raising money for Mind UK charity. So it's a mental health charity.
Okay. So and what do they do?
Basically, they got helplines and online brochures and stuff, information that people access if they're feeling they need to. Right.
And it's been used quite a bit by people from what I understand?
Yeah. I think I looked at the stats. It's like 3.3 million people have accessed the information.
Wow. Okay. That's fantastic. Fantastic. So why is this an important charity to you?
Mental health is quite universal. I've struggled with it in the past. And I know a lot of people that have too. And I think a lot of people do in general. And I think it's always good to get help.
Yeah, excellent. So if people watching this want to donate to this charity, how do they do that?
I have a Just Giving page. It's open until we finish.
Okay.
So they can I can give you the link and we can post that if they want to.
Yeah, so we'll put that link down below and in the comment section as well, just so people have easy access to that. Do you know about how much you have raised so far?
I think we're currently at £438.
Wow, cool. And what's that in New Zealand dollars about?
It's very nearly 5,000 New Zealand dollars.
Wow, fantastic, fantastic. All right, so if you want to help Richie with that charity, please click on the link, and I know that he will appreciate it, and certainly the people who benefit from mine will appreciate that as well. All right, anything else you want to say to the people?
Just hello and thank you.
All right, thanks.